everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making a Philadelphia staple, the classic cheesesteak. And a Philly cheesesteak is really nothing without a good roll to go with it, so of course we're making it ourselves. We're starting this off with 155 grams of warm water, followed by 10 grams of sugar, and of course about 15 grams of active dry yeast. While that blooms and activates, we're going to mix 125 grams of bread flour and 125 grams of all-purpose flour, as well as 10 grams of salt into a mixing bowl, and we're going to combine. It's going to take about 10 minutes for that yeast to bloom, but after that we're going to slowly add the water to the dry mix. After it's combined, we're going to start mixing that on medium for about 10 minutes until you realize you forgot a key ingredient and nonchalantly add it like you planned it the whole time. So throw in about 2 ounces of butter, and you're going to keep mixing that dough until it smooths out and it's somewhat elastic. About 5 to 10 more minutes. Now when your dough's ready, it's time to dramatically flour your work surface in slow motion and dump your dough out. We're going to need this for about 5 more minutes, form it into a ball, and put it into an oiled bowl covered with plastic wrap. You guys know the drill. Put that in a warm place to proof for an hour until it's doubled in size and looks like this. This recipe is for 2 rolls, so we're going to divide this in half, grab your favorite bottle of wine, and start rolling it into a rectangle-like shape. And I suppose a rolling pin would also work, but where's the fun in that? Now, after you get it all rolled out like this, we want to carefully roll the dough into a cylinder and close the seam while we do so. Then we're going to roll it from the inside out to about a 10-inch roll. Do the same thing with the other one and place them both on a lightly floured baking tray and cover with a towel. We're going to let that proof for about another hour before we hit it with the egg wash. And all the egg wash is melted butter and 1 egg. And after you miraculously get the shell out with your first try, whisk that up and gently brush it onto your rolls. Sprinkle a little bit of cornmeal on and make a shallow cut down the middle of the rolls, and now they're ready to go into your 450 degree oven. These are going to be baking for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're lightly golden. It's also a good idea to throw some boiling water or some ice into a hot pan in the oven to provide some more steam while they bake. Make sure you let them rest when you pull them out of the oven, and you should be met with a nice soft roll and a crispy sounding crust. With the bread done, let's make our own cheese whiz. We're going to start with some spices including equal parts smoked paprika, garlic powder, ground mustard, onion powder, cayenne, turmeric, and mushroom powder. No worries if you don't have this, but it does add some nice umami flavor that the whiz may be missing. Then just salt and pepper, and that's it. Now we're going to go ahead and shred about a cup or so of sharp cheddar. We're also going to carefully unwrap our processed friend here. These are mainly going to be helping us give us that texture that we know and love from a good cheese whiz. Now add 2 cups of milk and 2 ounces of cream cheese to a saucepan. Heat that on medium until the cream cheese is completely melted. Once it's melted, mix about a teaspoon of cornstarch with some water and add it slowly. Stir it until it thickens up, add about half of your spices, and start slowly adding your cheddar cheese into the sauce. Once all your cheddar cheese is melted into your sauce, add your American slices, stir it in, and simmer until it's a consistency that we know with good cheese whiz. AKA thick and processed looking. With the sauce done, it's time to cut up a half of a yellow onion into a large dice. And always remember, knuckles out, Marino. Also, don't do as I did and put a wet towel under your board so it doesn't slip and slide while you're chopping. Next comes the all-important steak, and here I'm using ribeye that's been thinly shaved, and I'm going to be chopping this down even further until you have little pieces of steak. Ribeye is a great meat for this because it has a great fat content and it provides a lot of flavor for the sandwich. With all of our components finished, start getting your big cast iron pan heated up with some olive oil and throw your onion in. We're going to be caramelizing them, so I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to get things going and some salt and pepper. Be patient here as we want to get a good color on those onions and really bring out their sweetness. Once your onions are done, push them to the side and add some more oil. Toss in your meat with the mandatory salt and pepper and saute that on medium heat until it's cooked through. Be careful not to get too much browning on the steak and not to overcook this. We want it to stay nice and juicy. Now, once it is done, just combine the steak and onions, add a little bit of cheese whiz, and start realizing your eyes might have been a little bit bigger than your stomach. No matter, push on and put your roll that you've cut not all the way through on top and figure out how to get this out of the pan. Kinda like this, but hopefully much cleaner and better in every way. And I'm gonna be honest here, I ended up splitting this into 2 sandwiches because it was just too much. But let's cut into this thing and see how we did. The bread came out super soft with a great crust, and the flavor was actually even better. That matched with the good ribeye and that homemade cheese whiz was moist, delicious, and would hopefully make any Philadelphian proud. or at least just not angry at me. So give this a try. You're seriously not going to regret it. If you like it, like and subscribe below, and we'll see you next time.